Now going to hand it over to Matthew, who is the engineering manager of Google Cloud's Risk AI team, which builds solutions helping companies in the financial services industry detect and manage risk. And Matt joined Google in 2019. So over to you, Matt.
Thanks, Alex. Hey, folks. Yes, so as Alex said, I am an engineering manager in the Risk AI team. And as you can see in this byline, we are building products to fight financial crime. I think there's a little bit of a disconnect between what Risk AI says and what the byline says. So I want to motivate why we call ourselves Risk AI and then talk about the product that we build. When we say Risk AI, what we mean is that we have a goal of building a suite of products that help large financial services institutes better manage their risk. What I mean by risk is that there's many types of risk that financial services institutes need to think about and manage, and they spend lots of effort and time and money and to understand and manage this risk. As an example of some types of risk that they manage, fraud, you can see in the middle and the bottom there. How do banks prevent identity theft? How do they prevent mortgage fraud, fraudulent credit card transactions, things like that? Another type of risk is credit risk. Are banks overinvested in certain types of properties? Are they properly diversified? So our goal is to build AI products that help these banks manage these different types of risks. It's a little aspirational because we do only have one product on the market right now, but we're working on others. And that product is in the field of anti-money laundering. And so that's where fighting financial crime comes in. So why did we start with anti-money laundering? Well, it was a problem space that we thought we could have a big impact in. It's estimated that 2% of the global GDP is the money, 2% of the global GDP is laundered every year. That's over $2 trillion. We don't find hardly any of that. Banks spend a lot of time and effort and money staying compliant and searching for these money launderers. The other upside of doing better at fighting money laundering is that money laundering is not the origin crime, right? People don't launder money just to launder money. They launder money to cover up other types of crime. They launder money to cover up human trafficking, drug trafficking, terrorist financing. So the more efficient you can be at finding money laundering, the more you can take these bad actors off the street. Like I mentioned, you can see a number of banks spend an inordinate amount of time and money on this problem, so any efficiencies gained are very impactful. To kind of help motivate our money laundering product, our anti-money laundering product, I want to kind of tell you how banks traditionally have searched for laundering in the past, and still do in many cases to this day. They do what is called a transaction monitoring system. Transaction monitoring is exactly what it sounds like. You take a half step back, you make a hypothesis. How do people launder money? For example, one way they launder money is by structuring. So structuring is a way if I have $100,000 that I need to launder, I'm going to make a bunch of smaller transactions to try to stay under the radar of detection, right? So like, for example, in the United States, transactions over $10,000 have to be reported to the federal government. So maybe if I have $100,000 I'm going to launder, then I'll break that into $5,000 transactions and try to spread them out over time. So now you've got this hypothesis of how you might go about detecting laundering, this type of laundering, and so you might write alerts to detect this pattern. So you've got trillions of millions and billions of transactions in your database, and you're going to essentially writing SQL to build alerts to find structuring. After these alerts fire, the banks typically will pass that off to an investigator that they employ. That investigator will look at that alert. They'll look at all of the other data that might be part of the investigation, part of information on the customer, things like that, and they'll make a determination: is this money laundering or not? As you can imagine, these types of alerts are very noisy. There are a lot of investigations lead to finding normal people going about their everyday lives and not finding money launderers. So this is where the opportunity we felt we could make a big impact by using an AI-driven model to help better detect laundering. And so we developed a product called AML AI, Anti-Money Laundering AI, and it replaces the traditional transaction monitoring system that banks use. The way it does so is by holistically looking at the entirety of the bank's data, all of that transaction data that we talked about, account data, what we call KYC data, so information, know your customer data, information about each customer, their employment history, their age, things like that. It takes as input all of the previous positive cases that they found in the past and builds a model and helps them, and then generates a holistic risk score for each customer of the bank. Those risk scores are then sorted, and the bank can look at the most risky customers over time and pass that information on to the investigators. In addition to just generating the risk score, you can imagine in a heavily regulated industry such as this, we have to make sure that our product is built securely, safely, and robustly. So this product is secure by design. We have to prove to these financial services institutes that they can trust us with their data. And so we set ourselves a very high bar when we're building this product. The other thing that we make sure we do is we are explainable by design. So you can see kind of the last couple lines in that black box. Not only do we provide the bank a risk score, we provide them information about how that risk score was determined. This helps them both in terms of going through a governance process to make sure that they're capable of using our models, our product. It also helps shape the investigation. So the investigator might say, well, we might be able to say, hey, this kind of looks like structuring. Maybe you should investigate in that direction. We launched this product last summer. We started this process many years ago of developing this product. We worked very closely with a lighthouse customer, launched last summer. This customer was able to achieve a 2 to 4 times increase in suspicious activity detected while reducing their alert volume by 70%. So an incredible increase in their ability to detect laundering. Yeah, we're pretty proud of those numbers, and we aren't stopping there. In addition to continuing to make AML a better product, continuing to be a market leader in the space, we want to expand into other types of risk and see how we can apply ML and AI to other things that can help these financial services manage their risk better. Which means we are hiring. So there's a couple people on this slide, Vega, who you met this morning, myself, and Eva is in the back there. She's going to be sitting at the round tables with us. Come say hi and talk to us during lunch. I have to thank Jim and I for filling out the rest of the team, representative team. This is our current team, and we're expanding. I'm based in Zurich, but we are expanding here in Warsaw. And we have openings on both sets of teams. So on the machine learning and experimentation team, we have some openings. This team is, as you can guess, primarily concerned with the actual performance of the model. So, you saw the 2 to 4 times increase in performance. This team on a day-to-day is running experiments to understand how they can squeeze even more performance out of this model. They're also working on a day-to-day basis to make experimentation faster. Because we're in such a highly regulated environment, you can imagine access to data is difficult. So you can imagine that experimentation is difficult. So this team also builds tools to make the engineering lives easier and experimentation faster. On the other side of the coin, we're also hiring on the product engineering team. So this team is essentially builds all of the features required to take this model and make it available to our customers. So this team is what you would probably consider a more traditional software engineering team. They are primarily concerned with how easy it is to adopt this product, how quickly it is for customers to adopt this product, They work very closely with our customers, and our product management teams on a day-to-day basis to deliver features for this product that make it easier to adopt. I've mentioned it a couple times. Challenges in this space are all of this is challenging in and of itself, but it's even more challenging because of the security and reliability and privacy standards that we set for ourselves to deliver this product. So this is just some celebrations from last summer, and we have many more planned, and I hope that maybe I see some of y'all's faces in these pictures in the future. Do I have time for questions or no? No? Okay. If you have questions, come find me at the break. Thank you very much.